Welcome to Art One on One. I am your pod boss, Nicole Jordan, alongside your professional artist,
My bad.
your professional artist, master educator, and America's favorite art teacher. Going live today.
Live streaming 2.0. We're trying it. Trying to make it all work. Guys, this camera. I don't know. Is it me or does this camera look
Seems
like?
fuzzy. That's what I was
I'm gonna
thinking.
wipe the
That's better.
crap off the
Got it.
lens.
Cricket hat. Got all the things.
I mean everything. I mean like the whole operation is like cattywampus here. Like, golly, what kind of a fly-by-night operation is this? Anyway, thanks for loading in with us. I do have the capability of chatting with you live. So if you do have questions, comments, concerns, ideas, or whatever,
Chat.
you can do that.
Send us a message. Yeah, you do like that.
It's an interesting feature. Anyway,
All right.
so we are in the midst of summer. We have lots of things going on. And so instead of editing and all of those things with the videos, it's just a little bit easier
What's happening? We have
to let me see. I feel like the microphone. Hello. Yeah, there's something with my microphone, I think.
How many times are we going to have technical difficulties
I don't
here?
every time probably. Because I just when I think I got it all figured out, I don't.
I'm going to have to wake up.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what to do.
Did you test the microphone?
Not really. Oh, here we go. Is that better? Test. Hello? I don't know. I don't know what's happening.
Dark.
So, I mean, I guess it could. I don't know what's happening. I mean, so
We're delayed slightly.
we're delayed slightly. I should probably, so I can text from. Okay. Liz says that the mic was working fine. We're being idiots. So
Go figure.
Go figure.
All right. All right. So it's summer.
All
We're
right.
obviously diving in with a live here, and today we have some good stuff to cover. The journey into the archive video that I watched was really good. It was so interesting. I'm excited to share it with people.
Journey into the
Maybe we
archives.
can start there. Yeah,
Okay.
I watched the Jim Henson video for my Journey into the Archive adventure, and there was so much good stuff in there I had no idea about, like just his journey and how he started and what all was his.
Isn't that ironic? The Journey into the Archives led you on a journey.
Oh my goodness. Yes.
But yeah, Jim Henson was quite a fascinating character. How he started really he just wanted to make TV stuff.
Yeah.
Like, he didn't really care about what it was. He just wanted to be a part of it.
Which is so weird because, like, when I think of Jim Henson, I obviously think of the Muppets, and then so I thought like that was
Right.
his thing. But clearly in that video, his wife wants to point out that the Muppets were not his thing. It was in fact like
Right.
TV production. That was his favorite
Right.
aspect of things. But he definitely, like, his earliest puppets. Is that what you call them? Puppets?
Muppets.
No, well,
He
he had all
called them-
kinds of puppets though.
But he called them Muppets. He
Oh.
didn't call them puppets.
Oh, all of them.
They're all Muppets.
Okay. His earliest one, let's see, that was called
Well, his earliest show was called Sam and Friends.
Yes, that's how he started.
And
I loved when he talked about, I just thought it was fun. Well, it's proof that you can, like, take anything and turn it into art, and it can be like he said he made the Kermit the Frog, I believe, out of his mom's old coat and a ping pong ball for the eyeballs.
Right. It was basically like a arts and crafts project, and he decided, yeah, we're gonna make this character, and really it was kind of a subordinate character for like a little skit that he wanted to do. I can't remember. Did I show the original Kermit the Frog skit?
You talked about how it was kind of a like a feisty, sassy Kermit, right? Like
Well, Kermit was kind of I mean,
the
Ker-
character.
yeah, Kermit the Frog, the character wasn't the Kermit the Frog that we know, kind of like the leader guy. He was kind of a nuisance. And but the first skit with Kermit the Frog had like a little worm, and the worm would kind of inch across the floor, and he would gobble it up.
Yeah.
And
No,
then
that was not on there.
then there'd be another little worm would come, he'd gobble it up, and then there'd be another worm, and he grabbed a hold of it and he'd pull it out of the hole, pull it, and then it was connected to this big long monster's nose, and then the monster ate Kermit the Frog.
Oh no, that was not on
And
there.
I think it was like on some sort of talk show, like I want to say like a Jack Parr type, like early, like before Johnny Carson was on the Tonight Show or something like that. Like it was really early television.
It was interesting because like what his last interview was with Arsenio Hall,
Arsenio
which
Hall.
seems so old. Like that just seems it wasn't that long ago, but I'm trying to think of what year he died. I know he died at like age 55 or something, pretty young, but Arsenio Hall was
late 80s, early
he did
90s.
He wasn't around for long, was he, Arsenio Hall?
Oh, he was big in the Dog Pound. I loved the Arsenio Hall show.
Maybe that just wasn't my thing, but
I mean, but that was when Fox was like a brand new. When Fox was a brand new network, right? I remember because we always had like ABC, NBC, CBS, and PBS. And then when we got Fox, it was like, holy crap, here's a whole nother thing. And the, Married with Children, the Tracy Ullman Show, The Simpsons. And a part of that early on was the Arsenio Hall show.
Yeah, I don't remember it being that popular. I did watch the Fraggle Rocks. The Fraggle Rocks?
Fraggle Rock was on HBO.
But I'm saying that was part of Jim Henson's. Like I think I knew that in the back of my mind, but he really evolved. I mean, there was just a lot of production that he did.
And a big thing, like the first, like HBO is known for showing movies. And the first thing that they said, you know what, we're going to make this our own television series was Fraggle Rock. Yeah. Their first big thing. And
well, and I didn't.
Arsenio Hall was from 89 to 94.
94. That was the year I graduated.
89 to 94.
So he wasn't that long.
But still, 94.
Well, I know, but 89. He was on 5 years. That's not long for airing a show.
And Jim Henson passed away in 1990. Yeah. So yeah, good. Thank you, Liz, for being our
information.
Right. The fact checker.
Yes.
As we go, but and again, like right there in that time, like Jim Henson was known for the Muppets and all of those sorts of things and the Sesame Street stuff. But I think there's a lot of other stuff like the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. He was in, like, when they did the live action movie, he made the costumes for that.
He did Yoda, which I thought
he made Yoda.
Crazy. What else did I?
Well, and Frank Oz, who is the voice of Miss Piggy and a lot of the famous Muppets, Frank Oz was the voice of Yoda. It's a Star Wars.
So did he do a bunch of those characters in the early Star Wars and things like that? Like Jim Henson, he did Yoda. He just did Yoda.
He helped his. From what I understand, his company helped make Yoda the puppet. the
Yeah.
Muppet of Yoda. The voice of Yoda was they wanted Jim Henson to do it. Jim Henson said, "No, you want Frank Oz to do it. He will
Yeah.
bring this to life." And so then Frank Oz got the job to make the voice of Yoda. But no, he wasn't known for those, but he did other movies that were kind of that sci-fi. He did The Dark Crystal. He did Labyrinth with David Bowie.
I don't know.
He did.
I know we got into robotics and like as technology
Right.
evolved
Well,
with.
there was the TV show Dinosaurs.
Yeah, that's yes.
Where he did like the animatronic kind of the.
When you watch that now, and it's just
kind of
so
cheesy.
Yeah.
Well, it's like the Honeymooners with dinosaurs, but
yeah,
it was a very short-lived series. But yeah.
Yeah, I mean for only being 55 when he died, man, he did a lot of.
Yeah, he
but
did.
yeah, hard work. And it was his wife. So what was his wife's role? She wrote some of the stuff like for
early
Sesame Street and things like that.
Well, not really Sesame Street, but she wrote a lot of the early stuff because they did a series that was kind of like the pilot for the Muppet Show called Sex and Violence on TV.
Yeah.
Which
was that HBO as well?
No, that was on like network. I think it was on CBS. I think it was network TV. And they put it out there and they were like, but it was just kind of like a special, and they spun it into what would become the Muppet Show. Now, again, I don't know if it ever aired, but that's what it was called. And they wanted to call the Muppet Show Sex and Violence on TV, but obviously that didn't work. Anyway.
Well, and I don't recall the Muppets being such an adult show, but then you go like that Arsenio Hall interview, which was his last interview that Jim Henson did.
Right.
He's like talking and he calls him a son of, what's the bear's name? The
Fozzie.
No,
it wasn't Rolf,
Fozzie.
It was Rolf the dog.
Yeah, Rolf the dog.
And he called him a son of a bitch. Yeah. And he goes, whoa, whoa, whoa. And they're like, no, that's like the greatest compliment that a dog can give you.
Yeah, it's fun. I mean, it was funny.
And yeah, I mean, Arsenio Hall, again, going back to that, but it was of its time for sure. But Jim Henson, he was pretty cutting edge with a lot of the things that he was doing, the humor that he was doing, even the things on the Muppet Show. And this is kind of the time, though. Like, you go back to those old Disney movies. They were drinking, like in Dumbo. Dumbo, like, gets drunk with the clowns, and the little mouse gets drunk.
I don't remember that.
You don't remember Dumbo drinking alcohol? Like,
no.
All of the clowns getting drunk after the show, and the wine bottle falls into the water barrel, and Dumbo drinks it, and he gets drunk, and the dogs go crazy. but there's a lot of those old movies, and the Muppet Show wasn't any different. There were Muppet Show episodes where I remember Muppets smoking and drinking. There was one of Johnny Cash where Johnny Cash is playing music in a barn. They got a Confederate flag in the back, and they got shotguns, and they're shooting people, and they're, it's the the Wild West in some of those episodes of the Muppet Show, or I don't think they were doing that sort of shenanigans on Sesame Street.
Well, the evolution of, because there is, like, if you think of Tom and Jerry, like the cartoons that we watched growing up, the Fraggle Rock, that's not a cartoon, but like
Fraggle Rock was a little more, it wasn't really
cartoons. And then like Fraggle Rock, the series is something I watched as I was older. Like I said, I graduated in 94, but like some of those cartoons, the things that they're blowing up and they're shooting people and they're, like you said, they're drunk, and like it's crazy what was allowed then, and then how it's evolved, and then now there's so much like anime, and I know kids are into that, but
the whole anime thing is a little bit I don't really get it. There's a lot of people that are into it, so I'm not gonna devalue it by my ignorance, but the fact of the matter is that a lot of those cartoon sorts of things have evolved over time. There was a time when you know, you could still maintain a PG. PG-13 was like a very new thing when I was a kid, but like
Right.
PG or G rating, and still, I mean, like a lot of John Wayne movies were rated G, and that's like cussing and fighting and shooting and
Right.
all of those sorts of things. And I don't know how that rating has evolved over time, but it definitely has evolved over time because you know, now it's like, okay, you can still maintain a PG-13 as long as you only use the F word once and as long as you only show partial nudity, not full nudity. And so it's like, okay, by that rationale, all of my videos are PG.
There you go. Going back to Jim Henson,
Anyway.
like as far as production, so I don't even know, like, what does that mean? What does that encompass when he's in productions?
Well, like for example, going to the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle thing.
Mm-hmm.
He made the costumes. He produced the costumes. So he's a part of the production company because he's making the things that are used to produce the movie.
But he's not like producing the video part of it.
But he's not like putting money in. He's not investing anything. They're paying him to make the costumes. He's not a director, although he did direct, but what the extent of his directorial work is Muppet stuff.
Yeah.
Like the Muppet movie. Even though he didn't direct all of those either. Like there were several of those that Frank Oz directed, who is a great director. He actually directed have you ever seen the movie What About Bob?
Yeah.
With your buddy Bill Murray?
Yeah. I have seen that.
That's Frank Oz direction. You know.
Interesting.
But anyway.
Yeah, pretty cool. He's just learning about him and the depths of what he did and what he was involved with. I think that was a really good video. I liked that video.
Well, and it's you know, from time to time I can throw together a pretty decent video.
Every once in a while.
But but there are other videos, like for example, the most recent video that I produced. And this is a minor thing, but it is a thing. Like there are certain videos that I see lots of people watch, and I think that like the good people that are in charge of the website, they might say, okay, we're going to push this out a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas you look at something like the most recent video that I put out on Chris Burden, and Chris Burden did a lot of really extreme things. I'll just say that he did a lot of really extreme things.
Okay.
And because he did extreme things, and because I note the extreme things that he did in his creation of art, that video is very much suppressed. It's not being put out there, which is why I pushed it out on to other social media platforms to say, hey folks, there's this video out there. If you haven't had a chance to look at some stuff, here's an example of a good video that it's not getting a lot of traction.
This is what you and I were having a conversation with the other day, and you said that I have all these conspiracy theories, which I do not. But this is exactly what I was talking about. They choose what they want to push and what they don't want to push, and it doesn't. There's no rhyme or reason. It's just who's ever in charge of thinks. If they think that your video shouldn't be pushed, or they think that then they don't. And that's not a conspiracy theory. That's a fact. That is a fact because, and who's deciding that?
I would prefer you not get my whole damn channel shut down.
How is that going to get shut down?
Because
I'm saying they control what you.
Yes. And so then they're going to see this, and then they're going to say, nut job, shut her down. And then I'm out.
Okay.
because you're on my network.
Okay.
You're on
Your network.
You're on the Mr. Burger
Oh
network.
my gosh. You think you have a network now?
Well,
We'll see.
channel.
You are getting close to having your 3,000 subscribers.
I want to get to 3,000 by my birthday in September, and I think I if I maintain the pace that I'm on, I will easily achieve that easily a month early.
Gosh, yeah, that's crazy that it's coming up. That's gonna
But
be here before we know it.
there are things and again, I don't blame the YouTube platform for not pushing the video out, because there are for this video the videos that I make aren't for kids. They're not for little, like they're not for.
You put that on your videos.
I
don't you?
do.
Yeah, you
Absolutely I do.
Yeah.
And it's not. It's for people that want to learn about art. It's people that want to know the inside scoop on art. And but the thing is, like, I've got video pieces that thousands and thousands of people have access to and can watch, and then I've got pieces that, it's just weird when videos are doing really, really well and thousands of people are looking, and then all of a sudden there's a video and 12 people have watched it. It's like, what's going on? The only difference is, like, they won't push it out. They won't let me push it out. There's nothing that I can do other than put it out on other platforms and say, hey, here's some other stuff. If you're wanting to learn some things about art, hey, here you go. Check it out. And
it's extreme as in content or extreme as in?
Yeah. I mean, go back. I mean, I know you haven't.
I have not.
I mean,
we've been slightly busy. Yeah. I watched the Jim Henson.
You have journeyed into the archives, but you have not journeyed into the
recent archives
today or yesterday.
No, I have not. All right.
Which isn't, it is what it is.
We're jumping around today, but
we are.
I am going to ask the art guides to continue our conversation. And the card I pulled today is JMW Turner.
JMW Turner.
You got to put your glasses on too.
I wanna be able to read well.
Well, I'm gonna choose today.
Oh, yeah, I do.
I'm gonna choose the life, because I think it's interesting. It's something I could talk about.
Yeah, our friends watching along may want to know what in the world that sentence is.
The life quote or life saying is, find the facts in a feeling. So do you know a lot about JMW Turner?
I've made a video on him, as a matter of fact.
Shocker.
There is a video that I have on JMW Turner.
I have not watched that video.
So for those of you that are wondering, these are art oracle cards. We purchased these in Kansas City at the Nelson Atkins Museum. However, our good friends at Lawrence King Publishing has these available online. They are oracle cards that focus on 52.
I feel like it's way more than that. Oh,
50 artists, and each one gives a little saying on the bottom. They say the life, the inspiration, and the works, right? And so there are, again, 50 different artists that are old school and very contemporary. JMW Turner obviously falls kind of in the middle there as a romantic landscape painter, but at any rate, it's kind of a neat set of cards. We are going to hopefully be finding a new set of cards as we are getting close to the end.
Three left.
Getting close to the end. We've gone through just about every single one. We kind of started that segment later on, and so anyway, we will be looking for a new deck of cards, and we use those cards to foster our dialogue and conversation. So again, finding the facts in a feeling. Finding my glasses in a field of
you already
fog.
Have glasses.
These are my sunglasses.
Yeah, because it's gonna be bright while we're in here.
To keep my hair under control.
Yeah.
okay, find the facts in a feeling.
So as it relates to J.M. Turner, JMW
JMW.
Turner,
Mm-hmm.
do you want me to talk, or are you going to talk about what you think this means? Because I think it's interesting. He was a landscape artist mainly, right? I
Correct.
mean, he did like dabbled into architectural stuff, and
He was mostly known for a seascape painter,
okay.
and I mean, he did other things. He did some map making and some other sorts of work, but he was primarily known for his seascapes, and he was really good at painting bad weather. He was known
Mm.
for this. He at one point tied himself to the mast of a boat and sailed out into a very rough storm so that he could see it, so he could study it. Nearly drowned, so he could see.
We have
And
talked about him.
we've
Talked about this
talked about
before.
him before.
I hope-
He's not a new guy.
Well,
Um,
and what I think one thing that I learned about him that I thought was cool is that he, you know, it's hard obviously to take your stuff and go places and paint with it, but he did, what is that called, like being an open artist, or he traveled and did his art out in the open, so he had to take all that stuff with him, which we talked about that
in
not too
plein
many
air.
episodes ago, where it's hard, like there's not a lot of artists that do that because it entails so much to
Right. Well,
but
and again, I think that he did a lot of things. Again, being a romantic artist, a lot of those romantic artists would try to inject the feeling of um, emotion into landscapes, into the weather. So, for example, one of the best examples of this with the JMW Turner work is a work called The Slave Ship. And in that work, you see this slave ship going off. And as it's traveling into more dark waters. The, the weather is really getting more chaotic, more rough. This is to illustrate God's upset with slavery, and JMW Turner was a believer that slavery should be outlawed. He was a British citizen who was very outspoken on this, and Britain was very in front of the time in outlawing slavery. And eventually, the United States would follow suit and outlaw slavery as well. However, in his works, he made a lot of works, kind of talking about that very sort of thing.
he did he do a lot of crazy stuff, like you were talking about the mat that tying himself to the
He didn't do a lot of I guess, extreme study in that way. He did a lot more things that were just kind of interesting sorts of study, but that was kind of like an extreme example. Definitely not he wasn't
like
a
crazy
dangerous,
person.
yeah, he wasn't like a dangerous person, or um, doing things that were, I don't know, terrible, out of the ordinary. Like,
Yeah.
he wanted to see what it looked like, and how do you know how to paint something if you don't know what it looks like? And so he's like, I want to go out and see it. I want to witness it. And they said, you're a nut job, but okay, you pay for it. We'll go out there with you, and
Yeah.
at any rate.
Well,
So
I think I mean he's kind of similar. It talks about he just traveled the world to use that as inspiration for art. And
yeah, the question posed here is, didn't the Royal Academy think that he was dangerous in a way? And it is possible. Again, that could have been, she's thinking it could have been from a movie, and that could be. I mean, most of the romantic artists were, I mean, they had a unique view of the world. And a lot of times when we think of romantic, we think of like lovey-dovey
Yes, we've
sort
had
of
this, and it's
romantic,
more
but
dark.
that's not what romantic is. Romantic is, yeah, a little dark. So you have Goya, who's a romantic artist who dealt with mental illness, and he dealt with his black paintings. And there's all of these examples of Goya in those things. We have artists like William Blake in his poetry, in this very dark sort of, not really dark, but just kind of this mysticism, magical sort of take on things. He saw, he believed that he saw angels, and he had visions, and everybody kind of thought that William Blake was schizophrenic and had mental illness and things like that on his own. And then you have folks again like JMW Turner to
I mean, he took it to it. That is a little extreme, I would say, for
for
sure.
sure, yeah.
But
But again, it he wasn't status quo. And I recently saw a quote, and I can't remember. I wish I could remember who said this, but and it may have been Salvador Dali, but don't quote me on it. That could be completely wrong. But there was an artist that had said, you know, either you're just going with the flow, or you're a rebel. There's no in the middle. Either you're just kind of doing what's always been done, or you're an anarchist trying to change everything. And I think that the romantic artists, like every group, and that seems to be true. Like, you look at the romantic artists, they were different than what the Baroque was doing. They were doing things a little darker. They were putting these ideas out there, and that was dangerous, and they're rebellious, and then you go fast forward to the Impressionists, and they're doing things differently. They're approaching things differently, and they were looked down upon by the established hierarchy of art, whatever that may have been, with the salons and all of that sort of thing.
Yep.
But again, over time, and you look at artists today, again, going back to the artist that I just put out that hasn't gotten a ton of traction because of
Yeah.
because of the nature of the art. And you've got Chris Burden, who has a very extreme view of what art is, a very extreme view of what sculpture is. And, you know, there are a lot of people that look at what he did in his body of work and they say that's not art. They disagree with it. They say it's dangerous. They say it's.
For JMW, you said that he was more of a romantic, like that type of painter, romanticism.
Yes.
Okay, then why? My question, I wrote down that he was known as the painter of light. Then that
Correct.
to me says something completely different. Like light and how he used it, like the attributes of his painting.
No, like physically, like sun, like atmosphere.
Okay, I got it.
Yeah.
Right. But a lot of his paintings were
like,
okay.
Yeah, like sunrises, sunsets,
that type of light.
like light across water, like
I
physical
was thinking
light,
it was like how he used light in his paintings, like bright light.
No.
Got it. No. Oh, that's good to know.
That's why I'm
I
here.
learned something now.
That's
why you're America's favorite art teacher.
Woo-hoo!
And that is, I mean, that can be, it could definitely be interpreted that way.
Sure.
Because when you said romanticism, I'm like, I don't understand then. That seems very contradictory.
Yeah. Well, and again, I think that a lot of times, if you don't have a lot of background knowledge in some of these things, it's really, really hard to pick up a lot of those things. And again, there's a million different forms and facets of art. And so for me to say, oh, I'm the, the spouter of all knowledge is ridiculous. But
telling what you know. Well, so did we even really talk about this card? Find the facts and a feeling? We really didn't. What you reading about?
Oh, just trying to catch up on some of the comments. I wonder if it might make you crazy for inaccurate or dramatic license. Again, when it comes to biopics and things like that, we've talked about that in the past, where like movies and things like that. I really do get upset about movies or um, things that aren't completely forthright with accurate information.
Yes.
Like, um, you know,
Give an example of one that you don't highly agree with.
Well, I mean, the movie that jumps to my head is a movie like Rudy. I love the movie Rudy. I think as a movie, the movie Rudy is really good. But in terms of the movie Rudy, he was a true person, but those things didn't really happen.
Okay. Well,
You
and
guys need
so
to go lay down. Okay, I'll be there in just 1 minute.
well, and that makes me think of what's the movie that we just watched not that long ago? It was based in Iowa. It was oh gosh, and they're a basketball team, and they feature. I think it features you and I, but it's nothing like you and I. We talked about it before. What was that movie?
You're thinking of two different movies. There was the one movie that was Champions.
Champions. That's the movie I was talking about.
But it took place in Iowa. But when they did the helicopter shots of Des Moines, it was definitely not Des Moines.
Yeah.
And then there was the movie of the Kurt Warner movie where it was like, this is the Unidome.
Or Drake. It was Drake and Champions. I thought they referenced Drake University. And it looked totally different.
Well, that could be.
That's what it was. We'll have to go check it out. That is a great movie. If you have not seen that,
that is a great movie.
Champions. We saw that in the movie theater.
Champions is a great movie, but and another movie of that type is the Kurt Warner movie where it's like, this is Cedar Falls, this is the Unidome, and it definitely was not a dome or UNI.
Yeah, you do not.
But
fare well with that. But okay, so JMW Turner. I think we've learned enough about him, but I don't think we've talked about. I don't think you've addressed the find the facts and a feeling and how that addresses to JMW Turner.
I think that he, being a romantic artist, he is putting his emotions out there. That's one of the big things that romantic artists do. And so his putting his feelings into the artwork is very much a calling card of what the romantics would do. And so he would in turn put his beliefs, his facts,
like around the slavery and war, he put that into his paintings
and put those in there together. And so I think he's doing both things at the same time. Etta, what are you saying? Okay, well, it'll come on. So obviously we have my youngest kids with us, and they were watching a movie, and so
time is up. How long have we been going for here?
Well, the movie.
Our thing. About 40 minutes. Goodness sakes, that went fast. Well, is there anything you want to talk about regarding before we wrap it up? Maybe we'll just wrap it up a little bit early.
We can wrap it up a little early. It's fine. But
content. What's coming out?
One of the things that somebody did ask me. I think this is my friend Country, who asked, how do I know when you're going to go live? Well, there really is no way of knowing if we're going to go live. However, here's what I would say is a generally good rule. If you want to watch us go live, the first thing is I always do the podcast on Sunday. At least for this year, it will always be on Sunday. And if we change it, we won't change it till the end of the year. So it's always on Sunday. If there's not a video that posts, by 6 a.m. Central Standard Time, then we will go live.
Well, I think what you need to do, we know when we're going live though. We knew this week we were going to go live. We didn't know exactly what time, but I think we could commit to a time and post it early that you're going to go live. I think you could do that. It's so funny because, okay, as he's talking and saying, we will not change until the end of the year if we are going to change our days that we're releasing things. And I know that he's so, everything is like, this is when he's going to post and this is what's coming out. And he's got it on a notebook for the whole year. And which
that's a fact.
Yes, it is. It is a fact. But okay, so people want a little bit of consistency. Like, I mean, we could do that. We could at least let him know if we're going to be going live a little bit sooner or.
I wish I could tell you a little bit sooner, but
I like the lives, but it also
the lives.
leaves room for
the lives are good. The only downside with the lives is that I'm not able to put some of the little clips and the extra things in there, the extra whatnots.
Yeah,
but
I don't know. We've really decided that we're going to do a mixture of like recorded podcasts and post them, and maybe like 1 out of the 3 weeks we're going to do a live. But I think it's more so just about around our scheduling and what's going on.
They're asking about it's on Prime, apparently, a series, a movie called Portrait Artist of the Year.
Ooh.
And there's also a Landscape Artist of the Year. Very interesting. And again, on Prime. This is new. I've never even heard of this before. So
we haven't been watching it.
Maybe we'll have to
check it out.
Talk
about it next live.
There you go. And they're definitely saying that it's a British TV show. And they're also available on YouTube, but we have Prime. We can check it out. They say so fun. Learned so much from the show. So that'd be a good one to check it out. Yeah, I mean we've seen some movies and some documentaries and
oh my gosh, some of the stuff you've made me watch
and
about artists, awful.
Yeah,
I couldn't even tell you the names of them, but you could.
I could.
What's a recent one you've made me watch that's awful?
Well, I enjoy them all, but I mean your tastes in art are very white bread.
It is. Is it called vanilla?
No, it's just like white. It's just like
white bread.
Show me the painting. Show me the sculpture. If it's a video, what the hell is that? We went to an art museum recently, and they had a video, and she's like, "What is going on? There's a video." Like it's a piece of art. Of course, you thought it was weird because it was a video.
They were out in the ocean in these bubbles being art. It just seemed like the craziest thing.
Exactly.
It's like the painter that painted white on white and called it art.
Oh, I don't know. Like,
yes. Give an example. I mean, you got to give an example of some of it's not even like the Salvador Dali. No, was it Salvador Dali? What movie with not Salvador Dali.
I don't know.
The bigger guy that had the wife, and she's very attractive.
Frida Kahlo?
Yeah. No.
Selma Hayek.
Yes.
That
was
understatement of the year. She's attractive.
Well, I had just had. She was in. What was the show I had you watch?
I don't know.
She was in that with Channing Tatum.
Oh yeah, that's the porn.
That's my kind of movie.
What was that movie where Selma Hayek's getting molested by Channing Tatum? Or
now I can't remember.
Danced on.
Oh, it's the last.
Yes, Diego Rivera. It was Diego Rivera with Frida was the movie.
Yeah. But there was
but that's a good movie.
That one was good. I was saying that was one that I enjoyed, but some of the other ones I mean, it was like a couple weeks ago and you're watching that movie and taking notes and you wanted me to watch it, and no way. I mean, you watch some crazy stuff. I am interested to see what the Prime series is about, though.
Yeah, no, that sounds really good, and I'll have to definitely check that out. That looks really our alley. Well, up my alley. I don't know if it's up your alley
We'll
or
see.
not, but
Well,
anyway, so we've got all kinds of things going on, and
kids breaking out of the bedroom.
well, I mean they were laying down watching a little Despicable Me 2 action, and
That is one of
and
my
it
favorite movies.
and it is what it is. Actually, Despicable Me 1 has a little bit of art history in there, where they try to steal the
Gru? Is
yeah
that the guy in it? Gru?
yeah I think so.
Yeah.
Try to steal some of the great art masterpieces.
Well, there's a video for you to do right there.
Yes.
All right. Well, we better wrap it up. Any big things that you're
Oh, you've been upgraded to Mrs. Burger.
yeah. Not yet.
Not yet.
Not yet. Yeah, hey, that's another. We should throw that out there. If anybody has any great ideas where
that's
we can
what that's what they want to do. Do your wedding planning work for you.
Well, but this is actually, this may be really helpful. We're trying to find a place that's like artsy but history, where I can have a night ceremony for our wedding. And
Here's what, if you're into movies, here's what you do. So if you've ever seen the movie, help me. What's the movie that with the thing with the candles and the thing?
Oh, it's the
Greek
wedding. My Greek Wedding 3 or something.
My Big Fat Greek Wedding 3. And there's a scene where there's like a dilapidated church stone facade, and it's got candles up to the thing. This is her vision for a wedding.
A night ceremony.
A brick
with like an old art history
stone
building that's kind of half torn down, that help us out here.
deconstructed, and candles at night.
I've been collecting candles for months now.
Months and months is the basement is quickly filling with boxes of candle.
Okay, we need to get back to, every time I say to you anything big you're launching this week as far as videos, or we're on a live right now, Drake, we have all kinds of kids coming in now.
We are located in Iowa, but anything in the Midwest would work. Yeah, feel free to. Nobody's married yet. So.
No, not yet.
So anyway,
still in the works. All right.
Okay,
I'm going to ask you a question for a fifth time.
Oh yeah.
Any big what's coming out this weekend or this week for videos? Anything?
The Des Moines Art Center is the Des Moines Art Center is.
Oh yes. That's this week.
Art festival is going on, and so we may be doing some impromptu things there.
Yeah, if anyone's around. We went to that last year. We had a blast there.
Just doing some stuff around that.
Yes. All right. Well, we're gonna wrap it up for tonight. We've got all kinds of things all kinds of things happening around the house here. So thanks for interacting with us.
Make sure you check us out. And again, maybe I will do a better job of posting that we're going live when
I think that's
live.
A smart thing. Yes.
God, it just seems like a lot more work for me. But.
You got it easy anyway.
Yeah.
You're on summer break.
Yeah. Right.
All right, everybody. Have a good night. Thanks for watching.